Thank you, Toastmaster Deepika. The distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. All that I could have been.
Girish, you will have to tell the timer. The timing is
Okay.
not 5 to
Uh,
7.
so the time limit for Satish Menon's speech is 18 to 22 minutes. So the green card at 18 minutes and the yellow card at 20th minute and the red card after 22 minutes. So let us welcome the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, all that I could have been. All that I could have been the distinguished Toastmaster Satish.
Good morning, everybody. There was a ad for a product. I think it was a life insurance product some years back, where a small kid comes to his dad one day and say, "Dad, I want to be a pilot." The next day he comes and says, "Dad, I want to be an IAS officer." The third day comes and says, "Dad, I want to be in the army." The fourth day he comes and says, "Dad, I want to be a racing car driver." And the ad went like, whatever he wants to be, provide for himself and all that. But that enthusiasm that the kid showed in the ad was something that I also had when I was growing up. We were growing up in the 70s in India, which is not the India that you see today. Opportunities were very limited, but we had a very happy life compared to what we see today. So everybody growing up had ambitions to become something. Mostly sports persons, film actors, or officers in the government, because those are the only three things which were there. Tech and all came later. And growing up in Mumbai, cricket was a passion for everybody. We didn't have too many grounds there, so people used to play on the streets. And everybody took inspiration from the cricketers of that period of time. When you could watch them on Doordarshan, Star TV and all came in the 90s. And you could see Sunil Gavaskar, Gundappa Vishwanath, Vivian Richards, all of the batting or bowling. If you look at Kapil Dev, Imran Khan, everybody wanted to emulate them and become like them. Now, Sunil Gavaskar once mentioned that he learned the art of straight drive by playing on Bombay streets, because if you hit left or right, it would go and break the windows of the houses. So, but to hit the ball straight is what he practiced when he was playing cricket on the streets, and that is what made him such a great batsman to drive the straight shot. Now, all of us try to emulate Sunil Gavaskar, and I still remember that playing cricket, there are a lot of times when we used to break the windows because you didn't have a chance. You're batting on the road, imagine, where you are competing to play along with traffic moving, pedestrians, the occasional dogs that will cross the road, and in the midst of that, you are trying to play cricket. So when the bowler is coming to bowl, you would see if there is somebody walking. If though, then in that instant he has to bowl. And when you're batting, you have to ensure that you don't hit a pedestrian or you don't go break somebody's glass, because both sides are houses or buildings. And we ended up breaking a lot of glasses. We ended up hitting a lot of people. Things got so worse that neighbors started complaining, saying that either you pay for the glass or you stop playing cricket here. I used to get scolding from my parents. I used to get beaten up also a lot of times. But sometimes you used to escape and kind of play. And if you go to a ground and play, there were so many other people playing. So you will never know whose ball you are catching. Some cricket ball would come at you, you would take it and throw, but that would not be the ball from the side that you are playing on. It would be somebody else's playing in the next pitch to you. And then fights will break out there because you encroached on somebody else's playing area, or you are playing for too long and somebody else wants to come and play there. All of that was okay. Okay, you still had the dream to say someday I will play cricket. Someday I will play cricket. At least the aim was India, but then say somewhere I will go and play at least for the state or the county. It all came to an end one day when, now you should remember that in Bombay, it's got a lot of sewage system, okay, that crisscross the roads and all. So sometimes when you hit the ball, it will go land in the sewer. Now, who's going to go and take it out from the sewer? It was not a very nice thing to do, that somebody has to go in and take it out and then wash it and then again use it for play again. Sometimes you can take it out using a stick, but sometimes if it goes inside, someone has to go in and take it out. Once it went inside, and there was a rule that whoever hit it will go and take it. And I had hit the ball, so I had to enter. And when I came out, I was all drenched up top to toe with all the sewage because the ball had gone inside. And those days things were very costly, so you couldn't just ignore saying we'll go buy another ball. The sight of me going home covered in sewage was the end of my cricket story. My dad said, nothing doing. You are not going to explore the underworld of Mumbai sewers every day as part of your cricketing dream. You can do better in other things in life. So that closed the cricketing chapter. And after that, though somebody tried to sneak and do something, it would never happen. The sheer sight of saying that if you come back from the underworld, I'm not saying the gangster underworld, and the underworld sewers trying to pick up cricket balls, you will not get an entry home. So when you see ball boys today in tennis and you see ball boys in cricket also who retrieve the ball from the boundary and lead back, this was another version of the ball boy, retrieving balls from the sewers. Okay? So that was the end to the story. Then we said, let's learn karate. Okay. Karate was also a good sport there, and it all got a lot of encouragement because that was the time when Bruce Lee's movie The Enter the Dragon got released, and everybody was let's practice karate. So you had a huge fan following, and then came all the other movies like 36 Chamber of Shaolin and all that. So everybody thought this was a good thing, and we used to practice on the terrace. Again, self-learning. Okay, somebody would get a book. There's no internet at that point of time, so somebody will get a book. You will see from the book, and you will start doing. That also came to an end when one of the blows that I landed gave somebody, made that person lie in hospital for a week. Now, I did not do it intentionally. The book said that this is the way you have to hit. And I kind of hit, and maybe the force with which I hit was very strong. And the guy who got the beating ended up, not the beating, the punch, ended up in hospital for a week. So that was an indication to say that career or that sport should not be pursued. Because my father said, I don't want to kind of fight with neighbors who come and say that your son hit my son. Now, the hitting was by mutual consensus. Okay? It was not a fight. Only thing is that the power or the force, the G force with which the hit went, that the other side could not take it. So after he came out of hospital, he gave up karate. I was told to stay away from karate, for that was the end for both of our karate dreams. Then as we studied through school and went through school, everybody said, why don't you start doing volleyball? So volleyball was a good sport at that point of time. And my height also supported it. We started playing on the school team. And then again, the same thing happened. In one of the matches, we won. The other side could not take it. A fight happened and somebody got beaten up. That was not me. Somebody on the other side got beaten up. All of us were suspended for a day. And then the school said no more volleyball for these people. Now, imagine if that career had continued, hopefully I would have been a very good volleyball player. But what that incident kind of stopped everything. Then I discovered what Toastmaster Girish is passionate about, that is bodybuilding. So sporting career is over. There is no more sporting career. somebody said, let's try running. So we used to run every day on the roads early in the morning. What happened is after some time, the dog started running after us. Because we used to go at 4 o'clock in the morning and run. Now, who will run at 4 o'clock in the morning? The only people on the roads were the milkmen, and they would go on cycles. Nobody else. And we were running. The dog started running after us. The dog bit somebody. And then we said, enough of running right now. The parents were saying, no, no, you should not go and run in the morning. So where do we run after that? In the school, we were very focused on academics, so there was no question of running anywhere. People still used to go run and do a lot of things, but then I kind of gave it up because my dad was very clear that no more getting up at 4 o'clock and running, not because of the dogs, but he was saying you are even disturbing us by running at 4, and sometimes I used to come back at 5 in the morning. And how this 4 o'clock thing started is somebody said if you run in the morning, the roads are cool, so you will not feel the tiredness. Okay. And there's less traffic on the roads. But after that dog incident, everybody said no more running. So that got over. Then I switched on to bodybuilding. I used to spend 4 or 5 hours in the gym. So much so that somebody said you could even go for Mr. Bombay. But then when my marks came, maybe my biceps had gone to 42, but my marks were only on 2. And at 2 out of 100, I'm not saying 2 out of 20. So then my dad called me up and said, do you think you can become the next Arnold Schwarzenegger? I said, well, maybe if I try, I can. But he said, yeah, you can try with your own money. Okay. I'm not going to subsidize all this. I don't want you to come and say 42 biceps, but 2 out of 100 in physics. Okay. I would rather make you inverse the equation. Okay. Get 42 out of 50 in maths, physics, rather than in bodybuilding. But somehow I persisted. And then, because Mumbai being the film industry, one day one guy came to me and said, you want to act in the movies. If somebody tells you I want to act in the movies, you will say yes. So that's my opportunity, right? Somebody's coming and telling me, you will be the next hero. I said, what do you have to do? He says, there is no main role or something. You are going to be one of the sidekicks for the villain. And you will get beaten up by the hero at the end of the movie. Okay. I said, which hero? He said, some hero who's going to act. But then I asked him, why did you kind of take me? He said, no, you're coming to the gym, right? So we wanted somebody who's young and who can fit the role. You don't have to even speak. You say you only have to stand behind the villain, like all those villains' assistants will do. At the end of the movie, you will get beaten up. So your only, he says, your only rise to fame will be that you can go and tell people that you are beaten up by the hero and they can see you on screen. So I was very happy. I said, yes, there's a chance to act in the movies. Who knows, you might be the next villain in Bollywood. And went and told my dad. I didn't get beaten up by the hero, but I definitely got beaten up by my dad. Yeah. He said, have you gone crazy? Right? If you are looking for a beating, I will give it to you. Yeah. And I will give it multiple times. And you can still be famous because you can say, I got beaten up by my dad. You want to go and act in a movie. I had gone for that audition also. So those guys were now after me saying that when are you coming for the first shooting? I said nothing doing. I'm getting beaten up every day by my dad. Why would I get beaten up again by a hero? So that was the end of the movie story. It came back a couple of years later saying that do you still want to act? But then I said once bitten, twice shy. I'm not going to kind of go there. So that was the end to the movie career. Who knows if like in the movies or like you read somewhere motivational stories where somebody said I fought with my dad and I went and acted in the movies, I could have been one of the famous actors. Okay. And today I could have told people, see, I fought with my dad and I went and acted in the movies. But that story will never be written now because that thing never happened. So that was the end of that particular incident. Then the next thing, what will you do? And somebody said, let's join the merchant navy, because as I said, things are very limited. So he said, let's join the merchant navy. And good thing was my dad knew people in the shipping industry. A friend of mine, his father knew people in the shipping industry. So we were like studying for that. And when the time came to write the exam, they said, even if you're 12th pass, we will take you, because they wanted people who were cadets. Okay. Now cadets can go through the entire process and become an officer and all that. And you know what stopped us? Again, parents said, how can you start a job without being a graduate? Well, that came the biggest hindrance. And I said, what has that got to do with being a graduate? He said, no, you have to be a graduate, then you can go and do a job. And here our dreams of going into the merchant navy all went, because we had almost everything done. We had written the exam, we passed the exam. Physical interview, we knew we would pass, because all of us were at that point of time in good physical shape. And here was the question of, if you are not a graduate, how will you go start a job? Put an end to the career. Otherwise, who knows? Today, I might have been a ship captain and traveling around the world. I still travel around the world, but at a different manner. So that was the end of that career. Then the last one, somebody said, let's do IAS. IAS we can do. Okay. Because all of us who studied together, most of us were good in history, English, and all that. So we'll take up that subject. We will do that. And then suddenly, when we started studying, we used to solve all those uh, papers, and we used to get good marks, and we said we can clear it easily. That was the time when IT came into India. And then suddenly, when we saw IT there, we said, who wants to study for IAS? We'll go do IT. And I still tell my friend that if we had concentrated on IAS, both of us would have cracked the IAS exam. We were so confident about it. We would have done it. And today we would have been maybe IAS officers somewhere. But both of us got the IT. I said, let's go and do something in IT. And that took one step, doing something which you had never planned about. Sure did something which helped us to get to where we are today. And in that, I found out that everything got mixed. You have to speak. So your film career came into the picture. You have to be more confident about yourself when you start your own venture. You said, I will become a sportsman. I will travel around the world. IT opportunity gave me the opportunity to travel around the world. You said you will lead a team of people. Forming an organization helped me lead a team of people. You said, I will want accolades. The way we build the organization, we got all the accolades that we wanted. So in a way, each of those careers which you planned when you were a kid got you somewhere and got you into a career which ultimately helped you fulfill all the dreams. So today, if I look back and say, what if I had been that? I don't know. I don't even want to go back. If today somebody tells me, if I reverse the clock, take you in a time machine and get you to live what you wanted there, would you go? I would say no. I would definitely say no, because whatever that experience in life taught us is what I cherish, and where that experience in life got me today is what I'm happy about. Do I want to go and rewrite that? No, I don't want to, because I don't know what the outcome of that will be. So all that I wanted to become, to all what all that I wanted to become, to all that I've become today, everything has been an experience, everything has been a learning, and everything is something which have molded me as a better individual. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much.
Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. Let me invite Toastmaster Deepika to evaluate the speech given by him. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepika.
Thank you, Uma, for handing over it to me. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I have the pleasure of evaluating Toastmaster Satish Menon's Level 5 Project 1 speech. This speech is a crucial step in Toastmasters journey, and I am here to provide feedback. The objectives of this speech were to practice developing and presenting a longer humorous speech. Toastmaster Satish Menon, your speech addressed these objectives very well. Your content were relevant and insightful, especially when you talked about Sunil Gavaskar. So I thought, yeah, definitely when we started to talk about cricketer or something, definitely you'll attract the audience. So the organization of your speech was clear with a strong opening about one boy used to tell every day that he wants to become a different profession. So that captured our attention, and a conclusion that tied everything together neatly. So your vocal variety was commendable. You used pauses effectively, and your changes in pitch and volume kept us engaged. In terms of body language, your gestures were natural and enhanced your message. Your eye contact with the audience were awesome, really. I did not find any pause fillers as well, and you have nicely narrated your life story. Uh, you have organized it very well, like from childhood to arranged it very well till at the end of so how till at the end how IT has boomed up, so something like that. We can tell you have arranged it neatly, and the audience were clearly engaged throughout your speech. Your use of the personal story at all the time was particularly effective, and that was drawing us in. And what I personally felt is only one technique you could consider is asking questions to the audience. This could be a powerful way to engage them more directly and make your message even more impactful. And also you might have ending your speech with a relevant quote can leave a lasting impression. Only I can say this, and but really I have enjoyed your speech a lot, like your speech structure and your vocal variety and your eye contact, everything were perfect, and we all were engaged throughout your speech. Really, I felt very excited and had a great pleasure to hear your life story. I think here we all might be 80s or 90s kids. I think it's an opportunity to learn about 70s people life story and lifestyle, you can say. I think we have a lot to learn from you. Personally, I did not felt it's speech. It's like sharing your thought and sharing your life journey without any flaws with us. Well done, Satish Menon.
Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. Let me invite Toastmaster Deepika to evaluate the speech given by him. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepika.
Thank you, Uma, for handing over it to me. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I have the pleasure of evaluating Toastmaster Satish Menon's Level 5 Project 1 speech. This speech is a crucial step in Toastmasters journey, and I am here to provide feedback. The objectives of this speech were to practice developing and presenting a longer humorous speech. Toastmaster Satish Menon, your speech addressed these objectives very well. Your content were relevant and insightful, especially when you talked about Sunil Gavaskar. So I thought, yeah, definitely when we started to talk about cricketer or something, definitely you'll attract the audience. So the organization of your speech was clear with a strong opening about one boy used to tell every day that he wants to become a different profession. So that captured our attention and a conclusion that tied everything together neatly. So your vocal variety was commendable. You used pauses effectively, and your changes in pitch and volume kept us engaged. In terms of body language, your gestures were natural and enhanced your message. Your eye contact with the audience were awesome, really. I did not find any pause fillers as well, and you have nicely narrated your life story. Uh, you have organized it very well, like from childhood to uh, arranged it very well till at the end of so how till at the end how IT has boomed up, so something like that. We can tell you have arranged it neatly, and the audience were clearly engaged throughout your speech. Your use of the personal story at all the time was particularly effective, and that was drawing us in. And what I personally felt is only one technique you could consider is asking questions to the audience. This could be a powerful way to engage them more directly and make your message even more impactful. And also you might have ending your speech with a relevant quote can leave a lasting impression. Only I can say this, and but really I have enjoyed your speech a lot, like your speech structure and your vocal variety and your eye contact, everything were perfect, and we all were engaged throughout your speech. Really, I felt very excited and had a great pleasure to hear your life story. I think here we all might be 80s or 90s kids. I think it's an opportunity to learn about 70s people life story and lifestyle, you can say. I think we have a lot to learn from you. Personally, I did not felt it's speech. It's like sharing your thought and sharing your life journey without any flaws with us. Well done, Satish Menon.